guys, Viper for Life here, and we are going to do more Viper versus the world. We are going to be driving the Mclaren MP4-12C, or the 12C, and we're going to see how fast it is. Now, I drove it prior to recording, and it is an understeering monster. I'm sorry, it understeers terribly, even at fairly low speeds. It just understeers. And then it oversteers at all the wrong moments. Let's see how fast of a lap I can get it to have, though. Or get it to MS. Come on. Oh. Like there. Right there. That's a good case of it understeering. I have a feeling that this won't be faster than a 458. If it is, I'll be very surprised, because it really does understeer quite badly. And like there, it can oversteer quite badly. Now to be fair, it was because I hit the inner apex. But even still, there are times when it really chooses the wrong moments, like there. I'm really trying to get the most out of it. But it's really hard when you get all this much understeer. Sorry, when you get this much understeer. And oversteer. But you kind of have to use that oversteer to keep it in the inner line of the turn, because otherwise you'll just understeer out. You kind of have to steer it with the throttle like that. That was quite a long drift. In fact, that's one of the few cars I've seen actually drift there. As much as it did. The problem with steering it with the throttle, though, is that can also make it understeer. So you kind of have to work it through the corner at just the right time. It'll just understeer, and you have to drift it to keep it in the corner sometimes, which annoyingly makes the lap slower. But ultimately, it makes it faster because you're not understeering all over the place. You have to go slower to go faster. I know it doesn't make sense, but in a way it does. You have to drift, and that's not the fastest way of getting around a track. But it's faster than understeering off the track and having to slow down too much to keep it on the road. So I have to go slower by drifting, to go faster to keep my speed up, and to keep it nearer to the corner so I can go faster. Now, as with this series, all these cars only get 5 laps to get the fastest lap that they can. I'm already on my 3rd lap, jeez. The thing is, though, unlike that LFA, it doesn't feel heavy all the time. Whoa, two wheels! Just the brake to keep it in line. Low RPM. I totally ruined that corner. I don't know. I can't remember what I did, but I didn't keep it in there very well. That's probably what I did. It's just so weird because it feels light and it feels heavy. It understeers and it oversteers. It's everywhere. It may be good in real life, but in Forza 4, it's not seeming to be terribly good. I also don't like the way it sounds. It sounds like it sounds like a child having a fit just because you can't have cake. At really high RPMs, anyway. Give me that cake! That's what it sounds like. The higher the RPM, the worse the tantrum gets. There we go. Keep it in, keep it in. I'm really trying not to slide right now. I got that corner all wrong. I was too close to the inside. That almost worked, and then it didn't. Okay, getting on two wheels, but now it's sliding. I'm trying to catch up, but it's not easy in this car. Because it's so heavy, then it's so light, and it feels like in some corners the back end it's 5 inches away from getting loose on you. And that's why it's really hard to push it. Or that's why it's really hard to launch out of these corners, because I know if I do, I'll just get tail happy. And I'm trying my best not to. I could have had that corner. Leg. It's so annoying with all of its understeer. It's really terrible. Gonna have to brake later. Ugh! I'm trying to brake later to compensate for me being slower on this back straight. Really have to steer it with the throttle. It just understeers. It's like you can't take any corner speed. Still drifting! You just can't go. I'm trying to get the most out of it for this last lap, but it doesn't want to. Inside of the corner, there we go. I don't know if it'll beat the Ferrari. Doesn't seem to be. That Ferrari is the third fastest car on this list. Or on the list. I'll tell you what though, I do like the interior. And I kinda like the way it looks, but I don't like the way it sounds. Nor do I like the way it's driving right now. To be fair though, that might just be on Maple Valley, but even still, it's just not planted enough. I'm not being biased either. I really do like both the 458 and the McLaren. And frankly, I prefer the McLaren's interior, but to be honest, I kind of wish this was faster than the 458. But it's not proving to be. It's really not proving to be. Wow! Never mind. Wow! That means everything I've been saying about this is wrong. Wait, no it isn't. No. That's amazing. Hold on. There. So, it's not as nice to drive as the 458, but it's faster. Did a 1 minute 37.006. Pretty much dead. Wow, that's amazing. I'm gonna go and get the next car, and we'll see how that does. Okay, so we are back, and we're gonna be driving the Mercedes SLR Sterling Moss. Now, I've never driven. Actually, I have driven it, but it's been ages, and I've never driven it on Maple Valley, so this is the first time experience for all of us, I think. Okay, well, it's obviously either turbocharged or supercharged, because it is creating a good deal of boost. And it is quite powerful, actually, around the same as the ZR1. I'm just hoping it'll be one of the grippier cars we've had. I think I changed up too soon. Whatever. I'll tell you what though, even in Forza you can tell you sit quite low. There's a bit of understeer, but nothing terrible. Oh, bit of oversteer. Bit of a four-wheel drift, actually. Interior's kind of dull, but it's supposed to be lightweight, so I'll forgive it for that. Feels a bit heavy. I know I've said it for a lot of cars, but it's true. And I'm not using arcade steering, I use simulation steering. Feels something like 3,400, 3,300 pounds. Like for some cars that's light, but for this I would have expected 2,900. Pretty quick though. Brakes aren't too bad. For its size, anyway. It does look good though. Oh, wide. Bit of understeer. It's quite balanced, but when it, like, in terms of handling dynamics, it is quite balanced. There's a bit of understeer and a bit of oversteer. But the thing is, though, when that little bit of oversteer becomes a lot of oversteer, that's when it's unbalanced. That's when it feels quite rear heavy. Like it's quite 40-60, much more the weight distribution in the back at times. Like, it doesn't feel like a 50-50 weight distribution. But it's weird because at times it sort of shifts. Sometimes it's 40-60 more at the rear, sometimes it's 60-40, a lot of it in the front. But but it is pretty close to 50-50, but it does feel a bit rear heavy at times and a bit front heavy at times. And it feels like the tire's more eager to change direction than the structure or the chassis of the vehicle itself. Now I need to stop talking and get a good lap in. Ooh, ow. Why? Sounds mean though. Ugh. Come on. It is a typical engine Merc though. But that might not be such a good thing. Same place. That's, yeah, it just feels heavy. Okay, that was a very weird way to take that corner. What is it? 1 minute. 1 minute 39.5. Oh, hold on. Okay. That's not a bad time, actually, but it's a bit slow. Slower than I would have expected, actually.